shelter where I can have my fun.
All right. Gotta start off with these guys.
Great
Welcome
crowd.
back to Sunday Spinning Sunday. I'm Ryan.
I'm Mauricio.
I'm Matthew.
Yeah, we have Matt. All three of us are here. We're on YouTube. We're on Anchor. We're on Spotify, iTunes, wherever. But yes, we're back. Sunday Spinning Sunday. The three of us.
Yes.
Great to have you back on the show, Matt. This is the first time you've been back on Sunday Spinning Sunday since when?
I think you were over, and we did one at my apartment.
Yeah,
That was a long time ago. Yeah, I think
visit with Matt.
Maybe during the Bowie, the Black Star. That might have been after that, when I sent my TVC-15.
Oh.
No.
No way.
Because Mauricio wasn't around then. That's why I did one with you.
I got kicked out.
Yeah.
Right.
You got kicked out. So
When I sent my little vlog.
yeah,
Right.
That was cool. I liked how you were still part of the show when you weren't around.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, man, that was great.
But it's good to have you here in the flesh.
Yes, I am in Toronto this time.
Woo!
Yeah,
Shout
I am
out.
here.
Let's bring those crowd back. Let's,
Yeah, give
four-
them a sec.
All four of them.
Oh yeah, look at that guy.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think there was a yeehaw in that. A couple of yeehaws.
You know it's a good party when there's some yeehaws.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, so this half hour is actually music focused. If you want to hear us talk nonsense, we have a podcast just for that. It's called Our FineIsh Hour, which is this essentially as well. But Sunday Spinning Sunday, we try to focus a little bit more on the music. So and records, vinyl.
See it as a special version for a FineIsh hour.
Yeah, the original version.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
The
going back to
twin
roots.
brother of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe the way to start off is just talking about what we've been listening to lately. Maybe we have to refresh everyone about what our music taste is and everything. It's been
That's
a while.
true. I think we should reload.
All right.
Reset.
Well, who goes first? I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna jump to that.
It's intimidating.
Well, Mauricio, you kind of saw my first, or not my first, but my first appearance on the show. We talked a lot about one of my favorite artists, Bruce Springsteen.
True.
And you found a really cool bootleg vinyl today. You were at Sonic, you said?
That was yesterday.
Ooh. Oh, yesterday.
I missed this
Yesterday.
story.
Okay. Yeah, yesterday,
story? No.
one of my favorite artists is Bruce Springsteen.
The boss.
Not just because he's very American, but I love his kind of his words, his way of his kind of his ability to not always just keep going from verse to verse, like just words stacked on top of words. And I love that ability, kind of like Dylan-esque a little bit with some more of a rock background, I guess you could say.
Great biceps too.
Oh man, I can't wait to look like him when I'm 35, which will
yeah.
never happen. I want to look like him when he's 69, which was just his birthday.
I want to look like him right now.
I would. That would be great. But
That's
anyways.
like our benchmark of like how fit we are is how Bruce Springsteen we are.
man, that is a goal.
Yeah.
I rather that than the Iggy Pop. Everyone admires the Iggy Pop body, but if you see it now, it's like
It's a little leathery.
okay.
Also one of my favorites, by the way.
It looks like an old tree.
I think that was my favorite backhanded compliment that I ever received. I was doing karaoke with a bunch of friends.
Get ready,
we had this private karaoke room, and of course I wanted to do "Lust for Life" from Iggy Pop.
Of course.
so
As you should.
I jump on stage, but before I do that, guess what? I take off my shirt. So I do the whole song, and my
course.
goodness, never do that song karaoke because it just keeps going. Like
Yeah,
it's
exhausting.
It
Yeah.
kind of gets a little old.
Johnny
karaoke way.
keeps coming back.
Johnny keeps coming back. Anyways,
With
at
the
the end of
Flesh
the
Machine.
song, someone said, "Wow,
Ritchie too.
you really look like Iggy Pop," and I kind of laughed. He's like, "Yeah, that's not a compliment."
Who said that?
Who said
Throw up the name.
No, I can't.
Okay.
Oh,
He was joking, but it was.
I think that's a compliment.
To be fair, everybody admires the Iggy Pop at this. His entire life, he have had the same body,
The
which
same.
is a surfer.
No, you see him in his prime and healthy prime. I would take that.
Yeah, when he caught
100%.
himself with a glass, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, you could take it a different way. They should have been more specific. Which Iggy Pop we're talking about? We're talking
True.
about the early Iggy Pop, the halfway there Iggy Pop or the please put a shirt on Iggy
Halfway
Pop?
there.
I think it was the please put a shirt on. I think that's what he wanted.
1960.
But like,
I love that you took your shirt off immediately.
I had to.
which is something I would never do.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag throwing that there.
Hey, the good thing was it was a
Not even in a
private
pool.
karaoke room. It wasn't a public karaoke.
I don't even do it. If I have a pool, I probably would cover myself.
Yes.
I don't.
A private pool in my room, I would be like,
I don't walk around my house shirtless.
same. I can't. It makes me. I've done it a few times, but it was because it was so hot.
I was gonna say
that
I
was
caught
like-
you
I'd
without
rather
your
go.
shirt on.
I'd rather go no
anytime.
pants then.
Two possible reasons. One, I forgot something. Went from the washroom to grab a t-shirt. Two, it was so hot that I just couldn't. I was like, you know what? It's not worth it.
I'd rather go no pants than no shirt.
Same.
This
same.
is
Yeah.
this is
same.
so funny. This is not music related, but Mauricio just caught me in my underwear yesterday.
Yeah,
Uh,
which is okay. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
like
fine.
wearing.
It was in the morning.
It's like a swimming suit.
Yeah.
It's just he thought I was gone,
I thought he was gone.
and
Well,
I'm
I was
like,
out
wow,
of
this guy looks pretty chill.
it. And I was feeling pretty chill.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
But
but
we-
it's fine.
Yeah.
And just to bring that back, so Bruce Springsteen.
it's a whole story.
Oh man.
Sorry.
So Bruce Springsteen.
My favorite brand of underwear is Bruce Springsteen.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be my only underwear. If
Oh
he-
yeah.
American made.
Yeah, right. Right.
Born to run underwear.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Where to
well,
run? Yeah.
Yeah. Not born for the runs.
Yo,
Born.
oh, okay. Wow.
Born to run.
Stops
You
those
should have
things.
more sounds on cue for those jokes.
Yeah. What
I wanna
else do
hear
I
my-
got there? I have this one ready. Yeah. Born to Runs.
It's
Oh.
the name.
All
Yeah, classic record scratch. Where were you going with this whole?
Oh
my
yeah.
fault.
So Bruce
Yeah.
Springsteen.
It was my fault.
Yeah, Maurice. Well, you could say you were looking. I don't know, maybe for me, or you just happened to see it. On the Springsteen.
I would say it was no, I was just looking around. So
Mhm.
I for work we had a meeting at this record store. Bad idea. And I just started looking around, and in the section of used records, I found this bootleg
Mhm.
from Bruce Springsteen, which the cover caught my attention because it was the cover of the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I can't remember the year of which Rolling Stone exactly.
I think it was like around that Born in the USA time, so probably like 84, 85, something like that.
He was like skating or something.
yeah.
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 So I just saw it, and immediately my first reaction was like, Matt. So I just took
missed it.
Matt. So I just took a picture of it and I sent it to Matt so he could check it out. And today he gave me a review about the set list of the album. Actually,
Yeah, yeah, it was really good. A lot of deep cuts on that haven't been released till more recently. Were on that bootleg.
oh really?
Yeah, yeah. Now I'm gonna I have to think of that. But some really deep cuts that were on this album called Tracks, which if people know was like previously unreleased songs he released maybe early 2000s.
Which is important
Which were
to
on that
say.
bootleg.
This is not an official album, any discography related,
Right.
full on bootleg of Bruce
And
the Boss.
And I was telling Mauricio too that I have this one bootleg of a Philadelphia broadcast of him early days, maybe 74, before Born to Run. And it's like an interview / performance with Bruce and the band. And I love it. It's like one of my favorite things I've ever found. I actually can't even remember where I found it. Maybe in St. Catharines where I live, at the one Niagara Records. Yeah. Which is just like more for used and old school records. And then we have a newer record store too. Just the two, really. But I think I probably found it there actually.
Yeah.
And that was one of my favorite finds. And that was just at the little record shop, St. Catharines, small city.
Yeah.
I always love when you have those finds.
It was a Bomb Records, Time Bomb Record.
Mind Bomb? No.
Yeah, Mind Bomb. Yep.
Mind Bomb.
Hey,
Yeah, Mind
we
Bomb.
did an
Shout out to
episode
Mind Bomb.
there.
Shout out. Which I don't know if I'm wrong, but I have the idea that the smaller the city, the better the records.
Mhm.
At least for classic bands.
Yeah, I've gotten actually speaking of we were talking last episode of our podcast, the FineIsh Hour, that we
many
me and
hours.
Ryan went to see Gary Newman together.
Yep.
And that's where at this record store, this Niagara Records, tons of Gary Newman, like mint condition items, and I was blown away because I hadn't looked. They were probably sitting there for years, and I didn't even know. And then they were there when I needed
Collecting
them.
dust.
Yeah. and they have a great collection there. Actually, I don't even know if we've been there, the three of us together. That Niagara Records.
I've been there.
We've
by
been,
myself,
but I don't think
but-
Risa did. Did we ever?
No,
go together?
honestly I haven't seen much of St. Catharines.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much to see, but
But it looks like a nice town. I mean, we did VR.
I don't know if you've heard the news.
I know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, record stores. Those
Yeah.
those are the good parts.
To be fair, you can say that about any town in the world.
True.
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
it was just it was St. Catherine's turn this time.
Now this meeting, you said it was at Sonic
Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom. That's
Yeah.
the
Here in
that's the
Toronto.
2 level.
That Sonic Boom is like the number one record store, at least in Toronto. I would say
Yeah,
probably
biggest.
the biggest, like size wise.
Mhm.
Everybody knows. Most of the people that at least is into music or records, whatever, everybody knows what Sonic Boom is.
Right.
They actually curious fact. I think I'm not sure if it was this week or the week before, last week. That's how you say it. But Elton John was there.
Elton, yeah.
Oh yeah, and he bought what, thousands of records, something like
He
that.
probably bought the store. But
Do you have anything by me? I
yeah.
would like to purchase.
I'm
it.
gonna buy everything you have by me. But no, it's just because some people might not know. I'm in a few years. It's not gonna have any meaning. But he's playing in Toronto now. He just played last night.
on his final
Final tour.
Yeah.
Farewell tour. So
Yeah.
he played last night in Toronto. So he was in the city for, I can tell, for a while, because if I'm not wrong, sorry if I'm wrong, his partner is from Toronto, I think.
Yeah, the area.
It's Canadian,
If-
at
if
least.
not
Or
Toronto,
Montreal.
I thought it was like close to Toronto, like Scarborough, something like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
or
I
Kingston
don't,
maybe.
yeah, I don't
one
know
of
the
those
details,
kind
and
of-
probably I'm
yeah.
just saying all the details wrong, but he's from Canada,
Mhm.
and I guess it gives him an extra reason to stay around a little bit longer. He even just add 2 extra shows in Toronto as well, which I cannot pay.
No, we cannot afford that.
I rather eat.
Yes, it's unfortunate. He was actually in St. Catharines last year, and I should have went, and I didn't. And it's one of those ones where you think, oh, I'll get him next go round,
Yeah.
and then there's not a next go round. Also, Paul Simon now he's going to be done now too. We missed him,
Yeah.
and he was in town, in Toronto
Buying
what,
some records.
month and a half ago, something
Yeah.
like that. So
So yeah,
Ah.
Sonic Boom. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like a mecca of records, record collection.
let me ask you this, and I'm trying not to ask a hipster question, but I'm going to.
Who do you hear first before anybody else?
Oh, no, I was going to ask, like, with that store being so popular, does that take anything away from you when you go to a bigger record store like that? Where you can, or do you like the smaller kind of, like I'm describing this, Niagara Records, where it's like 1 and like 3 people in there,
Right.
tops kind of thing? Does that, or do you like the idea that a lot of people are into records right now?
Okay. I'm not sure where to begin.
Uh-oh.
Would you choose Sonic Boom first
over a smaller
over
record
another
store?
record store? Yeah.
I prefer the smaller record stores. I feel like there's more of a hunt kind of aspect
Mhm.
to it. I feel like their prices may be cheaper as
Prices,
well.
that's
as-
number
Yeah, definitely prices. Yeah.
Because I was going to
Especially on
say,
new stuff,
when
yeah.
I go to Sonic Boom, every time they have kind of what I'm looking for. Like, I can almost guarantee it. Like,
Mhm.
it's like, I'm looking for this record. I wonder if Sonic Boom has it. Yes, they do.
Right.
But yeah, the price isn't ideal.
Mhm.
So yeah, it kind of takes a little bit of fun out of it if like it's always there.
Right. Right.
So I like the smaller record shops. You go in every week. You kind of know what their inventory is. You know where to go
Yeah.
to like look for like their new releases, what they're restocking. But with Sonic Boom, it's just it's constant. Like it's huge. Like there's so many sections where like they have it. You just-
Yeah. What you're looking for, they got it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Big record stores is like you will find what you're looking for sure. I would say record stores are good if you're looking for something specific. It's in your
Mhm.
head already,
Mhm.
and it's probably mostly new.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's a new band or more modern 90s and on,
Or any kind of reissue, they're having
it'll
it.
be
Yeah.
there.
I think big record stores are perfect to find new music. If I'm thinking in classic, let's see, because I'm a huge fan of The Doors, for example.
Mhm.
I think every single record from The Doors I've ever bought was from a small record store. Because I know they're going to have it. I know they're going to have it. And also prices are way different.
And for me, not to cut you off, but I think I like a little bit of the used aspect of
For
an
that
album
kind of
too.
bands, yes.
Yeah, for those kind of bands. Like, I like buying new records.
Yeah.
That's exciting that's now just a regular thing to do, especially for people our age, under 30, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And for Mauricio, just under 30.
Not for long.
I'm the youngest one here,
You
so
are not
I want to make sure that's
alone.
clear.
Yeah.
But no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like that there's a little bit of wear in the corner, but you find that good one if they have 3 copies of, the best of the Doors.
For me, it
Then-
adds to the terminology of what a classic is.
Yeah.
Right.
For
right.
me, a classic, I found
a
an
little
all
crackle
Beatle
or something.
album and
Right.
all Rolling Stone.
I
think,
love the crackle.
yeah, all my the Doors album are used all album. Of course, I'm not gonna buy a trashy one that is falling apart, but I rather that. It's so much better, and it's like an original pressing.
Even sometimes I will, like, I have, Ryan, your dad kind of has multiple records of some records. He actually gave me my Born in the USA Bruce Springsteen copy. And
that's where I got mine too.
I kind of like the idea of, like, you have the album that you choose that you really like, but say you can find, like, just a $5 really used one. Yeah. I kind of like having that too for, let's say you want to do something with the cover or the record.
Right.
Not with everybody, but I want to in the future have some sort of display.
Yeah.
And I'd like to actually play the one that I chose that I chose, and then have it also displayed another record. If you can get it for, sometimes they have good ones in $1 or.
Actually, I have this.
Dollar bins.
I'm in that bold because I have the new what's the new 2000 something pressing of Joshua Tree, but I also have the original 1987 that I found, and I was like, oh god damn it, I need this. So you can tell the difference in it, but the one I play is the one from 1987 because it sounds amazing.
Right.
And so yeah, I have the same, and I'm pretty sure I'm the same boat with a few Bowie albums.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because, for example, the classic one, Let's Dance, you find it anywhere, but every time you find one in a better condition than the one you found before. And it's like,
right.
God, I have it already, but this one is cheap and it's way, way better condition.
So do you end up buying that version, or is it just like man?
Once you have it, you have it.
I kind of go once I have it because I'm like, I have a memory of this one. I don't want to forget
unless
that first
yours
find.
is in really bad condition and it really needs an upgrade.
Like, for example, I know I need a new version of Station to Station.
Right.
For those who don't know, still David Bowie. And
76.
Because the one I found was surprising, like a $1 one. Yeah. And I was like, what is this doing here? Right. It sounds great, but sadly the cover is... I've seen,
worn.
It fought its battles. Right. And that would be the only reason why. But I definitely, every time I'm searching for Bowie, I cross path with a better condition Station to Station. I immediately go like, should I? But I do have that. I do have that. It's interesting that you say, because it's something that I know I do, but I never pay too much attention to it.
I think the other question I would have then with that is when some of these re-releases, like when Bowie passed. Yeah. You got an influx of reissues and what do I want to say? Not remix. What's the right term when they've updated it? Now I can't think of the proper term. Remastered. Remastered. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah. Remastered, which I don't really like remastered takes for the most part. Right. Because I like kind of the stereo or mono that they were originally in.
I was going to mention that moment too, Bowie's passing. I remember going to the record store and like going to the Bowie section every time. Like we would be like looking for albums. Like I wish I could see Hunky Dory somewhere. I wish I could see Man Who Sold the World somewhere. I wish I could see them in the record
which
store
was
physically.
Exciting.
Which was extremely exciting.
Yes.
But now, since they're everywhere, but they're all remastered, they're all new.
Right.
Finding an original pressing, it's harder now.
It's harder. Yeah.
But like, if you want the album, it's there.
And it's expensive now too because they're new, technically new.
Yeah,
and Hunky Dory is a good example for the three of us.
Oh, yeah. That was for the longest time I call it the Jewel of the Crown.
It was like the white whale for all.
It was the holy grail.
We were all on the search. We wanted to kill it first,
and happily we all have
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt bad because I was the first one to find it.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I'm gonna be.
This was brought up in a long episode ago, but there was an
Yes.
envy behind the album, and like yes, Mauricio found the first one, but he found the roughest condition one, and when he
Which
bought,
did sound good, and it was original pricing. Continue.
Right,
Yes.
right.
and then Mauricio
You
bought
can't
me.
literally drop the mic.
Please don't.
Yeah.
No, I bought
Mauricio
it.
bought me the album for my birthday, which I have to thank him for everything for that because it's a beautiful copy.
In a better condition than mine.
in a better condition than his, but
And I got mine when we were, was it for a record store day? And I found one
Yes.
in that little
Yes.
little shop. No, I can't remember the name of that one.
Cosmo Records.
Yeah, Cosmo.
Toronto.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just sitting on one of the displays, and I'm like, yep.
And you
We-
definitely have the best version out of all of us. That is the most mint for sure.
Not exactly.
Yeah.
Not exactly. Oh,
Maybe not.
I got a second one in Cosmo,
Yes, it's true.
and it's a
Yes.
hunky dory.
Yes.
What am I gonna say?
Right. You know about this?
Yes, I know about the clear.
It's
Yes,
a clear vinyl
it's
hunky dory,
fantastic.
which I never told Ryan I had it because I felt terrible.
Yeah, he never told
You
me.
showed me once.
Even though he had one, he had more than anybody else. Please, man.
Is this the first time he's here? Because
No.
No.
Didn't we bring this up on the air?
did we?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't
Maybe.
think
Well, we're
so.
bringing it up again. Well, he showed me because he was too afraid to tell you,
I was like, dude, this just happened.
and like I hated you a normal amount.
but I
but
knew you
he
were
would-
hating me less.
Yes, for sure.
I know
100%.
you're more
Yeah, I
understanding
wouldn't
of
have.
those.
Yeah, I
hate.
would have been fine with
Yeah.
that.
No hate.
No, it's not hate, but
No,
I
not
know,
hate.
but I definitely know that Matt would
Yes.
deal with it better. He would go home and be like, "Oh, fuck this guy." But
I would have ran to the record store and like tried to demand one. Be like, where is it?
yeah, but I was
produce
living
it.
with you, which makes it worse. Anyways, the whole thing is that yeah, that one is. He didn't know about that one, and the time when I finally said, "Okay, I think it's time to bring that up," it was the same night we heard the news that Bowie passed. I was
Yeah.
like, if we're gonna listen to one, I'm gonna bring up the
Gotta be
best I
that one.
have. And yeah, that one was hard to find and funny. Before we get lost in another train of thought about the remastering things,
Yes.
it's so funny because I probably take it farther than record ones when I'm in Spotify and I find an album that says, like in the case of Bowie, I think which one? There's one, I think it's Reality or something. I don't know. I can remember that the only one available is remastered.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yep. Me neither.
And people's gonna say it sounds the same. What the hell are you talking
It
about?
does not sound
I
the same.
just the fact that it says remaster. I'm like, no. Oh, the other one is YouTube with
Yeah.
Actum Babies, like deluxe edition, whatever. And I'm like, I just want Actum Baby.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't need all the demos attached to
No,
it.
And
or
I
the
wonder-
remaster.
Is that on the artist? Like what they allow?
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's they want that to be
If
heard.
you
I
go
guess,
right
or
now-
the company wants
Yeah.
that. To
If
be
you go
heard.
right now to Spotify and search YouTube Actum Baby, the only one available is the deluxe edition.
Yeah, so
Th-
you're
that-
gonna have to create your own playlist of just
Which I did.
Octane Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I did.
of
It's
course.
called Octane Baby because and
How annoying.
because also if I want to download the album, I don't want to download 10 plus songs.
Yeah.
That is more space on my phone, or I just want to end it the way the album's meant to be.
That is a huge
finished.
thing. Ending a playlist or an album the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
ended.
that song is there for a reason. I mean,
Right.
Actum Baby and then with Love is Blindness. Whoever hasn't listened to that, even if you don't like YouTube, please, for Christ's sake, listen to that song. That's a perfect way to close that album. And when after that one, another one would start, I was like, no.
Yeah, you need silence after a perfect ending.
A little moment of introspection.
It's like that with the Beatles too. One of my
Mm.
one of my favorites, and Riso, you've mentioned U2 now. Ryan needs to get in there with one of his favorites too. But with the Beatles, it's all remastered.
Yeah.
all of it,
on,
yeah,
on
yeah.
Spotify.
Because they didn't have the rights, I believe,
Right.
like for iTunes as well, and then they got everything.
One of my favorite things that was done with the Beatles was about, it's probably, I guess, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, 9.
Yeah.
And they released the mono
Yes.
masters.
Right,
And
right.
that was
right.
one of my favorite things to listen to because not only did it not include some things, that sounds that I was familiar with, but there was other background noise that you did not get on the stereo recordings that
Right.
I would have been brought up on CDs. So the mono recordings are great. And I love hearing that way more than I hear remastered because at least that's almost like an even rawer version of what was released.
You can hear John Lennon yelling at Ringo.
Right. But even like in a song
Play
like
the freaking guitar.
like in like Sergeant Pepper, like all of what's going on in that final, like the ending, A Day in the Life.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
hear
that-
coughs, you can hear
the
breathing,
never-ending
you can hear
piano.
that kind of thing. Yeah, it's like you can hear more of that stuff. So that part I like going the other way, almost like an original, like the bass mono version of songs, at least from that era, because you didn't get it after a certain time,
Right.
was great. So, but Ryan, what would you say? Like, you two, Bruce Springsteen, probably. Would you go Bowie for sure for the three of us?
Bowie.
But
Yeah.
like an all-time favorite. Would you think like I know you started out like really heavy with Nine Inch Nails, that kind of thing, or
Okay.
would that be the one?
Before you
that-
jump in that, I just want to make it
Please.
clear. U2 is one of my favorite bands, but I never been able to put the crown
Word
to any
favorite,
specific
yeah.
band.
No. I can't.
Okay.
Either, so.
Proceed.
No.
Yeah,
no.
like I wasn't gonna.
This is a top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't mention anything like Radiohead because like they don't have remastered. Well, they starting to get there.
No. But you that's one of your favorites. So
Yes,
that's like a
definitely.
benchmark. Yeah.
But yeah, Nine Inch Nails. I'm starting to get a little resurgence after our Gary Newman experience. So that
Yeah.
sound is
that
it's back.
industrial-
Yeah,
Yeah, you got me onto that. Originally, I never would have listened to that if we hadn't lived together. I never would have probably gotten into that. And now Gary Newman's one of my favorites.
yeah.
And now that'll probably make me like Trent's work more too. So that's the great thing about music too.
Yeah.
One artist leads it to the other. I love collaborations like that too.
Yeah, I don't know what. Trying to think, cause it's funny, cause I discover Nine Inch Nails through Johnny Cash.
Right.
Of
course. Yes.
That
Nice,
one
nice.
thing took to the other,
Hurt.
and I still like the Johnny Cash version more.
I think I do too. I would have to say, yeah.
I'm more Nine Inch Nails, but that's
Yeah, but
That's-
you would have heard. You would have been there.
I
Heard
heard
that,
I heard Johnny Cash's first actually.
Oh, really?
to be
Oh,
honest,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well,
Well,
that's cool then.
Interesting.
you-
But yeah, the same. It opened that gate, and I remember liking Nine Inch Nails a lot. But I think it came out the same time another bands came to my life, so I got super distracted.
Mhm.
And once you lose that train, man, it's hard to get back.
Oh yeah.
It's kinda
Yeah,
really
definitely,
hard.
definitely.
But I always loved the sound, especially because high school years I was a very angry teenager.
That's when I got into them.
Yeah,
Right.
because I wasn't happy with anything. But at the same time, I discovered other stuff, and I went to my first U2 concert, and my mindset was like, I don't care anything.
And that was the Argentina. concert,
Argentina
correct?
concert in the
Yeah.
River Plate. Thanks, Franz Ferdinand, for opening.
Yeah.
It
Love
was-
Franz Ferdinand.
yeah,
Always ascending.
yeah.
Those
So
guys.
that sound took over the industrial sound that I was building in my head,
Mhm.
plus metal and everything, because you're angry at that age, and I just started going somewhere else, more rock, more. I started listening to YouTube backwards, and that took me to older bands,
Mhm.
and I was
Right.
like, oh, I'm feeling back my Beatle vibes that I lost, like, I don't know, 3 years before.
Right.
So it was pretty nice. But yeah, Nine Inch Nails, just I was there, I touched it, and I got distracted. To go back in, it was Bowie.
Yeah.
Sure.
Who brought it
definitely
back,
with
and I was like,
Earthling,
Yeah, it was like, oh,
yeah.
these guys,
Yeah.
hell yeah. And again, there was another break because that album again was hard for me to get into.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
sure.
and then
Then it was like the Social Network, and
I was
like,
gonna say that
yeah.
Trent
Yeah,
Reznor with
definitely.
Social,
Social Network, yeah.
Network
Right.
brought it back. So they keep coming back and forward, and I'm like, okay, sure.
That seriously, it's that wave that like I'm riding. It's like I had a peak in like high school with Nine Inch Nails, and like then he just keeps coming back with these modern projects. Like
Right.
I
Now
always
with Atticus Ross now too.
Yeah.
I think that's helped him stay creative for himself too.
yeah.
He said that, but
So like I haven't listened to as much new Nine Inch Nails, but I will always come back and like try it out because I always get in like those moods.
for sure, they're definitely a good mood band.
Yeah.
Not just for like
They're not an every
just-
time band. Like you
No.
can't just put that.
No,
You can't put Nine Inch Nails on all the time.
and I think what changed
Road
that,
trip, Nine Inch Nails, guys.
Dude, you guys would hate me, but I used to listen to it constantly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I would listen to.
Don't you love the existence of headphones?
Yeah.
Imagine if we have to deal with everybody's music all the time.
Mauricio, you have to deal with my music a lot. You do.
His reaction is
Yeah.
yes,
Silence.
priceless. Silence. Well, you know what? He's only reacting that way because me and him listen to the same 5 bands
Okay, yeah.
and claim that we
the
don't.
thing, and it's hard because my music. I want to say I'm not gonna say my music taste, but my music
Day-to-day listening.
the
yeah?
scheme, the how you call it, the
Motif.
yeah, I don't know. It's just I have the variety that goes from English to Spanish, and sometimes some sprinkle of any other language that I can find, French, Italian, whatever. But yeah, main are English and Spanish, and sometimes I'm listening to a lot of music in Spanish.
Right.
And I don't wanna. I never felt like I wanted to bombard people with that. I felt like almost like I don't know. It's like it's my thing, and I don't want to be. Hey, listen to this thing. You can understand a single thing, but which I know that's not. We've talked about it. That doesn't matter. But
No, it's beautiful
No, right,
music
but
either way.
But
Yeah.
I've recently learned that. But you know who's helped me with that? Well, who? Well, I say who.
Duolingo.
Duolingo, yeah. Yeah. They really have a good music section.
Not
on
sponsored.
Duolingo. No, but the show on BBC Six is hosted by Iggy Pop called Iggy Confidential.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody's ever listened to it. I encourage them to do so because I've learned a lot of world music, jazz,
Right.
more punk because he mixes all of that together in a 2-hour show. And it's really broadened my horizons and learning that I don't have to be limited to what I can listen to. Like you're saying, there are no limits. Even if it's a different language or someone who you never would have thought of, just try it. If you don't like it, that's okay.
Yeah, like I get super lost like in French music. I don't know most of the things they say, but then I go and read translation, whatever.
You're learning.
But it's what I like. I actually like to hear different voices.
Mm-hmm.
So because if I don't understand what they're saying, I actually concentrate more on the music
Yeah.
or the art as a whole. It's like this sounds beautiful. Like it happens with classical music. You don't have anything on top to, drive you through. It's whatever you feel at the moment with it. There's no lyrics in most of them that will tell you what to feel or how to feel. So I don't know if that's just an excuse I give to myself to not blast music, but also because in the house I used to live, when you live in a house with a doctor, which is my mom, they're usually they have to work extra times or whatever. So she was always tired and she would fall asleep, and the only thing we would do is we all get together to protect her sleep, to make sure she's sleeping, and because of that, I was never the kid who would blast music. I would yell. It was a very quiet house sometimes. Important to say, it's a Latin American house, so weekends blast the salsa, which is the reality. That's how my parents would clean the house. Yes, just like you imagine dancing with the broom. But I think that add to my personality of not sharing my sounds too much.
Mm-hmm.
And also because I don't feel like everyone's on the same mood as me, and I don't want to impose a mood. Because if I'm in a bad mood and someone is blasting happy mood music, probably I'm going to be like, I don't want to be in this room. Not because I dislike the music, but because I feel uneasy.
Place. And that's the thing that separates, I think, a lot of people. Like I take it that seriously too.
Right.
But a lot of people are just, they just have it on and music is secondary. When music is on in a room of one of the three of us, and I know a lot of people, that's the focal point for the most part.
It has an impact.
Yes, on what we talk
impact.
about or how we talk about things. And I know that's a ton of people out there, but for a lot of people I know it is just background, or it is just like whatever is playing.
Which is cool.
Matter. Which is fine. Yeah. No, but I think that's hard for us to deal with that.
Yeah. If I'm in a conversation and there's a song I like in the background,
I can't.
You have no idea. I have to come up with a sixth sense to concentrate and look at this person in the face and be like, yeah, it's like gibberish what you're saying right now. Because
instrumental is great to go with for like atmosphere.
Every party should have just freaking Mozart in the background. A nice Mozart or a freaking Beethoven. Because honestly, it's hard for me to concentrate.
Same.
Yeah.
I had that today at work. Somebody was trying to, even when they're trying to talk to me, but a song I like is playing. And even if I've heard that song
I give up
100 times,
I give up.
I'm gonna be like, no, I won't tell them that. But in my mind, I'm singing the song and like
cracking their neck.
I'm like waiting for the part where
I don't want to be rude, but shut up.
I really like this line right here, and I just want to hear that instead of what a person is saying in front of me.
all the time.
And I do that
Anytime
all the
Bowie
time.
comes on, and Bowie's always on.
Yes.
Anytime you walk into a store or restaurant, Bowie's always on.
That's actually true.
Or in
It's-
every Hamilton radio station.
Yeah, and I can't talk to anyone while that's happening.
Even if it's, golden years. I'm like,
Yep.
oh, I can't wait to hear the third movement of golden years. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's Let's Dance, I'm like, that intro,
Yeah. Yeah, my problem is that you're listening to a song, the other person knows it. Okay, we're on the same page. But then they start talking or explaining the song on top of it. And it's like, why right before of the chorus?
Right.
Couldn't you just wait?
Yeah,
It's just right there. Just let it happen. 5 minutes of your life.
But people
You don't have to interrupt
people
that.
aren't crazy like we are with that
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
I'm
stuff.
insane. I should be in an
Yeah.
institution of some
Oh,
sort.
definitely. With music, for sure.
Yeah.
Music is more important than anything, but
It's true.
Oh, yeah.
because it'll be here long after us, which is the cool thing.
Yeah, like every time, because it happens, like, you see stupid things on Facebook or whatever, and then sometimes I find things like, if you will have to lose one sense, which one would be? I need
Yes.
my ears,
Definitely.
I need to hear, because if you take
Yeah.
away music, I can be blind, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if I don't take away the sound of,
I think we all agree we would rather go blind than lose our...
don't take away the sound
100%.
of the waves of the ocean from
Exactly.
me. Going basic, the
Yeah.
world, my friends and family voices, or I'm sorry if someone knows someone that is going through that. I'm honestly sorry, but personally, my choice. I couldn't imagine that. If it happened, I'll survive.
Yeah.
The world is made of, we
No,
have
but
to adapt.
But you can.
But if
see
you
through
give me
music.
the choice, like in Facebook, like pick one, I immediately
would you
go
rather?
like, no,
Yeah,
that one,
right.
it's not an option.
There would be no podcast if you couldn't do
I think
this.
that would make a lot of people happy.
Everyone else listening to this is like, I'd rather
They
go
would be
deaf.
like, I wish
I don't
was
want to
deaf.
listen to these guys anymore.
or you can press stop. It's just an option. I'm gonna leave it there and I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah, thankfully you don't have to see any of us right now.
Oh, this is trashy as hell. I have a cactus neon light that is.
Yeah, it's just green in this
We do.
room.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how it looks from outside.
Yeah.
That's probably pathetic.
Uh,
But I love it.
looks wonderful.
Thanks, man. I love it.
I love your cactus.
Thanks, man. I
Hey, it's
love my
prickly.
cactus
Don't
too.
touch.
Yeah.
A cactus is the greatest plant.
Amen to that.
I don't have to do anything.
Hey.
The
The opposite of a child.
It's just there. You water it
Yeah.
once every month.
The opposite of a kid. Yeah. God bless them.
Oh, I was just checking out how long the time was.
Yeah, how are we
Yeah.
doing there?
Oh, we're up to almost 40.
Okay, guys. Well, I think that's a good place. We got a good.
Yeah. I did
recap.
want to bring back something from our last podcast.
Please.
Oh yes.
Well, the
of
last
course.
Sunday Spinning Sunday podcast. There was a little bit of an update with Curtis, our friend that inspired us to come back to the channel. So we saw him at Car Seat
There it
Headrest concert, and he said, "Hey, this is a guy who just."
He said it like that.
He just said, "Hey, this is
and
a
walked
guy
away.
who's been a fan of Sunday Spinning Sunday." And
At least he watched it.
yeah, he watched it and recognized us and said, "Hey, I really appreciated that." And so I found on an old video he commented on our record store day
Yeah,
video,
the
2016.
16?
Yeah.
It's a throwback, Curtis.
Yeah, and he actually commented on a video saying, "Hey, are you guys making any new videos soon?" So, like,
Great
this
question.
guy is actually he wants us
Still
to create
the question.
content. Anyway, so I reached out to him in our last video, asking him if he wanted to be on the podcast one day, and there was a response.
Creep.
I asked him if he lived in Toronto, and he said, "I don't." He wished he did, though.
Not that he doesn't want to be part of a podcast. It's
Yeah,
he's not in
he's
Toronto.
not
he,
here.
he
Yeah.
moved because you asked him.
And ironically, he
The
just
next
moved to London for school, which is actually the way we came.
London, Ontario.
London,
Just-
Ontario.
Yeah.
Where
Hey,
Maurice-
maybe he's going to
Maurice
London,
arrived.
UK for school.
Yeah.
And good for you, Curtis. London, Ontario. But he would be glad to take a trip down here and join us if his schedule becomes less hectic.
Yeah, that would be great.
Good
and
luck
if we're
with
still
that.
up for it. So, you know what? Hey, Curtis, we go to London every once in a while, so maybe we can still make that work.
The poor guy's like, I just came out with this excuse.
I came up with
And
the
this
Just want
guy-
to get away
to get out.
from these guys.
They broke my excuse right
I
there.
should have never said hey.
Yeah, I should have just walked in. My friend was right. I shouldn't talk to this guy.
Should forget these
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, you're in. No, Curtis, you made this real for just like saying, hey, you brought us into your life. So I hope you actually do come on this podcast.
I can vouch for
one day.
that. I can vouch for that because the two of them, as soon as they told me this story, the stunning faces that they had just telling me really brought it back out of them, and now I'm here too with them. So
Yeah, right.
thanks, Curtis.
I hope you're happy, you piece of
Wonderful being that you
love
are.
Curtis.
a little piece of wonderful being.
So yeah, maybe when you're done this semester or something, we'll do a podcast with you. We'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah, man, you look rad. You're pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? Let's wrap it up there, and we'll get on to more our FineIsh hour after this.
Yes.
So yeah, stick around. We'll have more content with Matt coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this for the first time, go back. There's a bunch of stuff out there so you can find it. This episode will be the number 10.
Number 10, our FineIsh hour. Number 2, Sunday Spinning Sunday podcast.
Super confusing, but
It's a little crossover. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to see,
Yeah.
who we like being better.
I know. I like being the music guy.
Now we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm still deciding.
I like both names, but I already have a logo for our FineIsh hour, and I like the logo. I
Logo
worked
looks good.
hard for it.
You did.
It took me a week.
So you're thinking of rebooting the Sunday Spinning Sunday logo?
I want to. I just my brain is dry, but I definitely want to just sit down actually and redo it because
Yeah.
it's been a while.
It's been a
Things
long
need to be refreshed.
It'll be a
Some in a while.
cactus.
Yeah, there you go. We're not Coca-Cola. We need to change our looks, but we don't want to be Pepsi.
Do they need to advertise still? Okay, this could be later discussion, but
Okay.
We'll
We'll
talk
bring this
about
up
that.
into our FineIsh
there's an
hour.
advertising
Okay.
discussion.
This will come up in the next episode.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Remember that you can find us on Anchor, this app that I use to upload the podcast. Pretty cool. I really like it. You can download it on your phone, and they have a website.
What was that again?
Anchor.
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 Thank you.
That's a better pronunciation. Thank you. Anchor. Anchor. You can find it and Google it. And also you can find us in Spotify as our FineIsh hour and in iTunes. Also, we have the Facebook page, which that's the name, our FineIsh hour. Every time I upload an episode, you're going to see the post there. Again, at Twitter, I don't know how to use. And also, this episode for being Sunday Spinning Sunday special, it's going to be on the YouTube channel, which is Sunday Spinning Sunday. You can find it right
Yeah,
there.
you're probably
And where you
listening to it here.
Where you can find
Right
our past videos as well. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Curtis.
If you actually want to see what we look like, that's where you go.
If you want to find
For sure.
all our embarrassment, right there. And
Yeah.
the last video we uploaded actually after a while was one of these podcasts. So yeah, I think that's all the information.
yeah, it's
you
a new
need from me.
playlist because
Yes, a new playlist for the
Boom.
podcast
You
because
find all the podcasts
organizations keep it organized.
All
That's my
right.
motto. All right.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Matt. Nice to have you back.
You got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for having me. I'll be back
Yeah.
as much as I can.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye. Keep spinning.
Bye.
Bye.